Astonishing images, we've seen and some proliferating across social media of Air Force C-130s, Black Hawk helicopters, variants thereof, operating low and pretty slow in broad daylight over Iran, looking for this downed aircrew. It's the kind of thing you would only do in a situation where you were willing to assume extraordinary risk because your objective was so important, namely saving some lives here.
And perhaps felt very confident that you did have that air superiority. We know that a search and rescue mission, is underway. What would something like that look like? I mean, this is hostile territory, obviously, that we're dealing with.
So there's a whole community of the United States military and of our Special Operations Command that doesn't get as much press as like the Navy SEALs and the Delta Force and guys like that. There's an Air Force Special Operations Command and a pararescue unit within that is dedicated to these kinds of missions. Those guys have been in the region, essentially staged and waiting for something like this. This is not to be flippant about it, but this is game day for them. I mean, it's obviously a tragedy if one of these crew members is hurt or, God forbid, dead, but they are out there doing the mission for which they've been trained year after year, and in an extremely hazardous situation where it's daylight, they're visible. Obviously, one of the ironies of an operation like this is you assume a lot of risk to go and rescue other people who have already been shot down.
And just give us the historical context. When is the last time that we have seen something like this happen, where a U.S. fighter jet is down in hostile territory and we have to go in and rescue?
The truth is there's actually not been much over the recent decades, which speaks to sort of American military dominance and the kind of campaigns that we've waged. There was a jet that went down over Syria in the last decade. We lost a number of helicopters in Iraq and Afghanistan, but you really have to go back to the 90s to see a high rate of this kind of thing. The first Gulf War, for example, there were a number of aircraft shot down. Similar, fewer, but still a few shot down over the former Yugoslavia in the late 90s. We are not particularly used to operating in an environment where there's heavily contested airspace. Obviously, here in Iran, we're encountering that here about, 5 weeks into the campaign. It's a very serious consideration.
All right, Aaron McLean, appreciate your context and analysis. I want to bring in Elizabeth Palmer, who's in Tel Aviv this morning. Liz, can you sort of paint the picture of what we're hearing from Iranian state media?